Okay guys, we continue the swatch with the daisy stitch. So in the daisy stitch you need to use two colors. Here I'm only explaining with one color, but you have to use two colors. And then we have only 4 rows, and I've done the first row over here, and we'll continue with the second row. The first row is just knit all over, so you have easy swatch or easy stitches for the first row. Okay, and then the second row, it's where the pattern gets complicated. So we start with knit 1. You have to knit 1 this stitch. Okay, and then afterwards we purl 3 together. Actually we have the asterisk before the purl 3 together. So if you read the repetition on the pattern, you have to always return to this repetition. So purl 3 together, so you bring the yarn to the front like this. Okay, and then we have to purl this 3 stitches together like this. So you might note that my stitches are quite loose, so you have to also adjust the tension. Do not tighten the stitches too much because we're going to use the stitches together a lot in this swatch, so you have to make sure the tension is quite loose. Okay, so we start the purl 3 together by inserting the needle to the to this 3 loops, and then we purl these stitches together. Okay, like this. But you have to keep the loop, these 3 loops on the needle. Okay, keep the loop on the needle, and then we do yarn over, okay, while the loops are still on the needle. Okay, like this. We do the yarn over, and then after the yarn over we do purl 3 together again. So after the yarn over is purl stitch, so you have to prepare your yarn over to be ready to make the purl stitch. So it's a little bit different, you know, with the yarn over to knit stitches. For the purl stitches, okay, you have to start from the front, okay, wrapping the yarn over from the front to the back and then bring to the front. So this yarn is ready to make another purl stitch. So you have to purl this 3 loops again with purl 3 together like this. Okay, so, oops, sorry, I bring some other yarn, sorry, I will redo it again. So I'm doing the purl 3 together here like this. So after you finish the second purl 3 together, you can drop this loops all together. Okay, the 3 loops, you have to drop it, and then you do knit 1, bring the yarn to the back, and then you knit this stitch, and then you have to repeat from the purl 3. Okay, so you bring to the front and then you purl these stitches together, purl 3 stitches together, and then don't forget to take the loop, but do not release these 3 loops yet, but again you do the yarn over like this. Okay, and then you make another purl 3 together with the stitches that are still in the loop. Okay, and then afterwards, okay, after you get the purl 3 together the second time, okay, then you release the stitches. Okay, and then you do knit 1. Okay, and then we have the repetition again. Okay, purl 3 together, this one, purl 3 together. Okay, keep the yarns on the loop, keep the yarns on the needle, and then yarn over as if it's making the yarn to the front, because we will purl afterwards. We purl this again one more time. Okay, then we have the second purl 3 together, okay, over here, and then release the stitch, and then the last stitch we do knit 1. Okay, so that's basically the second row, like this, guys. Okay, so when you do the third row, you start from this row, you start from knit, sorry, all the for the third row you have to do all knit stitches. So you knit all the stitches, 1 1 2 3, okay, and then 1 1 2 3. So basically you knit all this stitches, 1 1 2 3, like this. Okay, so let me show you once again. I will knit this row. Okay, just make sure to avoid tightening the stitches too tight, because you are using the purl together method. If you tighten the stitches too tight, it will be very hard for you to even insert the needle to the stitches. Okay, and then basically for row 4, yeah, it's the a slight modification of row 2. It's not too different. You only need the purl 3 the same, yeah, the complex method is actually the same as row 2 for the row 4. So let's start with K1, purl 1, K1. So this we need to K1, knit 1, okay, and then bring it to the front, purl 1, and then bring it to the back, K1. Okay, and then starting from this is the repetition. So the repetition of purl 3 together, and then keep the loop on the needle, and then yarn over, and then do the purl 3 together again from the same 3 loops. So what you need to do is you bring your yarn towards front, and then do the same thing as what you did to row 2. So you pick this 3 stitches together to purl, okay, and then bring it to the with the purl stitch. You purl these 3 stitches together, but do not release these 3 loops yet. You have to yarn over first, yeah, yarn over like this, the yarn over for the purl stitch. Afterwards you have to bring the yarn from the front and then wrap it around the back, and then bring it again towards front, so like this. And then afterwards you finish again this 3 loop okay, with purl 3 together one more time. Okay, and then release. And then after this, the same, you do knit one first, and then you continue with the repetition. Bring your yarn to the front, and then take these 3 loops together, then you purl these stitches together. Okay, do not release the loop yet. Yarn over. Okay, and then after the yarn over, take the 3 loops again for another purl 3 together like this. Okay, and then after you pick the last purl 3 together, and then you release the stitches, and then the last stitch over here, you need to finish the knit one first, and then there's not enough stitches for the repetition, so let's check the end of this row. So the end of this row, after you have enough repetition, you need to finish with purl 1. So bring the yarn to the front, purl 1, and then K1. Okay, and then K1. Okay, so this is the daisy stitch. You can see the daisy pattern will form in the front. So this is the daisy, the flower pattern. You can see it actually better if you have 2 colors. Okay, so this is the daisy stitch.